everybody. Welcome back to the Sean Lowry Show. And today I'm very excited to have Paul Getter, who is Nerd Alert. He's the internet marketing nerd. And he's worked with some of the top entrepreneurs online like Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, Les Brown, many more. Some people call him the guy behind the guys, which I like, and that's cool. And he's the CEO of one of the most sought after marketing agencies in the world. Author, speaker, internet marketer, and all around nerd. Paul, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sean. Thanks for having me here, man. That's great. That's great. Yes, I am a nerd. I embrace it. I admit it. That's what I am.
I like your bow tie. That's like your signature look.
Yeah. So I always tell people, like, the bow tie is for fashion. The glass is for vision. The glasses, they're for vision. I have to wear them. So
ever since I've started my podcast, I've been rocking this like pencil in my ear.
Okay.
It's always kind of subtly there, and so it's kind of like a little bit of my thing, but it's a lot easier than putting on a bow tie every podcast.
Yeah. So I'll let you in on a little secret. My glasses.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I really do wear glasses. I have to, like, if I don't wear glasses, I'm blind. So, but when I'm doing online calls and everything like that with all the lighting and stuff, I put my contacts in and put the glasses on. So people don't recognize me without my glasses.
Yeah, you're staying on brand. That's smart.
Staying on brand.
You can't be a nerd without the glasses to go like this, right?
Exactly.
All right, so that's awesome. You got the look down. But yeah, so I'm so excited to talk about so many things. So I was kind of looking at your website and learning about you. And first, when you got started, you were working like with a church, right? And that was kind of like where you started learning about internet marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I still work with our church and ministry. And but yeah, that's kind of what happened. Is some of my friends, when Facebook was first initially being launched, they said to me, "Hey, Paul, you need to get on Facebook. You need to get on Facebook." And it was kind of like, that's a toy, that's a game, that's for kids. And then I finally embraced it and got onto Facebook. And again, it was a new platform at that point.
What year would this be? Around 2010, 11?
Yeah, maybe even prior to that.
Okay.
9. Yeah.
Okay.
8, maybe 8. It was like whatever year Facebook really started coming out, that's when it was.
Okay. So, nice. And yeah, I mean, that like tactic still applies up till today. You want to be one of the first people like on a new platform.
Yeah.
But you were on it early with Facebook. So you started it with your church, and then I was reading about you that one of the next thing you did was like launch like Les Brown, right? And he's like is he related to the church? He's like a motivational speaker?
No, it was one of those things that we, Les and I, we connected on a personal level, that I actually did speaking events with him and tours, and started working, helping him out with internet marketing. And it's just personally, I saw the value of it and started connecting with other entrepreneurs and helping them accelerate their growth through social media marketing.
Cool. And you helped him, basically, he was the first guy who you helped him grow his page, right, and get big using internet marketing, right?
Yeah. So, looking back at it, I don't know if he was one of the first guys, but yeah, he was one of our initial notable people that we worked with. I think Ty was probably before Les. Ty Lopez. Yeah. Okay. I worked with him for years. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So like internet marketing, like, I'm kind of like new in the podcasting world and doing things online, but my product is we sell Monogram clothing. So we basically sell products, and I run Facebook ads all the time. I consider myself like an internet marketer, but it kind of has like a little bit of a wide range. I feel like there's content creation, there's like strategy for niching, there's ads, like your style of like internet marketing. Like, how do you define your internet marketing? Like, what exact like kind of strategies, or how do you define it?
Yeah. So our systems, what we do is, I call it the SOS method. SOS. We systemize, optimize, and scale. So we will take, and a lot of it works around personal brands, people that have online courses or platforms like that. And we help them. There's a lot of very talented speakers, business people that have a marketable skill set, and we help them put that into a system that can be placed online, digital courses and, all of their content. We put that into a system,
Okay.
and then we optimize it, fine tune things, start to send traffic to it, test it, make sales. And once we have it optimized, we scale it. And
Okay.
when you scale a personal brand, it involves exposure through content and growth in a personal level, and then additionally a growth in their sales and their services.
Okay. Yeah. So like my expertise is products. And when I sell, I run an ad, put a picture up, link it back to a product page. And the conversion that I'm looking for is a sale. But with personal branding, like is most of the things you're leading back to like monetize things, something like courses, or is it different for each person?
Yeah, so there is an aspect of building a personal brand where there isn't an immediate return on your investment, because it's just brand awareness, getting people out there, getting them seen. So it's kind of like this initial phase where you're getting the person out there in front of everybody, building that relationship with them, introducing them to people, putting their content in front of eyeballs, and there may not be an immediate ROI on that. It's just kind of like an investing type of phase.
Right. I mean, who's gonna buy a course of someone that they've never heard of right off the bat?
Yeah, exactly. There used to be a day when you could take a product, a digital product or something built around a person, and you could just put it in front of people and they would buy, and done that quickly. But now I think that there's like kind of like a dating process. You have to build relationships, because the market has become kind of saturated with, internet marketing gurus.
Right. And so much is free.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to build that relationship, add value, and then once you have established that relationship, then you can engage people in a monetary transaction, whether it's coaching, your program, something like that.
And I'm curious, out of like, on average, out of maybe a lot of people that you work with or the industry and the people you've seen over the years, from start until successful monetization, like what do you think the time is, like on average, like a year, 2 years, 3 months, 6 months? Like,
so I think what it comes down to is how marketable their product is, what they offer. Sometimes people come to us and they're like, hey, I want to be, the next big person and everything like that. And number one, if they don't have the talent, if they don't have the personality, if they don't have that, everything that is necessary, and then let's just say that they're average on that, but they have an excellent product, an excellent course that can help people grow, personally, financially, and they get results, then there's huge opportunity. So the number one thing that you want to have is you want to be able to deliver on whatever you are advertising. So if a person has a marketable product, course, or service, then really growth can happen very quickly because you're able to monetize it quickly. Some people don't have the budget or the patience to invest in branding marketing for a long period of time without seeing a return. So you really have to have something that is marketable pretty quickly, or you're going to lose money.
And like when you're selling like a course or coaching, I feel like if I were to buy something like that, one of the things that I think I'd like to see is that this person has like had some type of success in business previously to the coaching. Do you find that to be an important thing or not really?
Yeah. So no, I 100% agree with you. So here's the interesting thing is for many years, I was, as you mentioned, the guy behind the guys, that I was doing courses, I was doing the ads and building the platforms for the experts. And I remember one particular moment that I was at a conference and I was sitting there and this guy is introduced. He's like, one of the leading experts in Facebook marketing, blah, 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 blah. And he comes to the stage and I look at this guy, I'm like, I know him. He calls me. I consult him. This guy knows nothing about Facebook marketing. And kind of, it really set me aback. And so I never wanted to be that person that was like, hey, promoting people that really don't know what they're doing. So, a lot of times people, they are selling courses, teaching people how to make courses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm new to like this kind of work. I'm 44 weeks into my podcast, and what I've had success with is building up like a product business. I have 15 employees, but yeah, I'm learning about this new, this world of building a successful podcast. And I'm kind of just doing it for the challenge and the fun. And I love talking business. Yeah. But it's interesting, and it's kind of challenging to get listeners. Like you said, it depends on your talent and what you have to offer. Yeah. But I've been looking at some of your strategies. Do you have the clap strategy? Right?
Yeah.
I was looking at that. So it's about having, tell me if I'm correct. It's about having good content, which obviously is important. And then the loop, which for the people listening, that is about kind of doing contests, right? With people in your niche. Give me like another couple sentences on that one.
So the clap method. You did homework before we got on this.
Where did you? I can be a nerd too.
Yeah. I mean, you're digging out all the nuggets here. So CLAP, C-L-A-P, is an acronym that I use for teaching people how to grow their Instagram. C is for content, which, you can use all kinds of fancy tricks and little hacks, but if your content isn't good, you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste your money. And then L is loops. Loops is kind of like this underground, mysterious thing. Matter of fact, I've got a great network of people that we work with, influencers and big celebrities. Like I think we're doing a loop with is it Cardi B?
Cardi B? I love Cardi B.
Yeah. So she's doing a loop where basically she'll say, hey, I'm giving away, a bunch of prizes, money, and everything like that. To be entered into this giveaway, you have to follow these 20 people, and she tags people. And so basically, if you want your Instagram to grow, and with her, I think we're estimating the average person should grow by 100,000 followers. So it's a quick way to grow. You enter into this loop, you pay an admission price, and Cardi B is going to tag you as one of the people that individuals need to follow to be entered into this giveaway. So we call it a giveaway loop.
Okay. So, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. What would be is that like $20,000, $5,000? Like, is that something that you said if you pay the budget or the admission?
I can give you the hookup discount price.
So. Okay. All right.
No, I mean, depending on the influencer, how many followers they have, I mean, it can range from, like we do micro influencers where they might have, let's say, only 1 million. They're not famous people, and that might only cost a few $100s. But big celebrities that have tens of millions of followers, you're going to pay a price tag of $5,000 or more to get into that. But as a marketer, as a business person, you kind of ask yourself, okay, is this a good investment for me? And a lot of times, if you have systems in place, you have a service that you can monetize, or you can kind of justify that investment.
Yeah. It's an investment, right? It's like spend money to make money type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the other thing that would be really beneficial is, depending on who the person is, if you are talking about like rap or something like that, then it's probably even more worth it because the people that were following her.
Yeah, if you want to get your album out there, right. Or maybe, for example, you have some type of clothing line that would. Right. Connect with her followers.
Yeah, right. Connect with her followers, because the people that see that are going to be her followers. And if you have nothing to do with it, it might not be worth the money. But if her followers are people that would like your product or service, then I think that makes it even more worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the clap is for Instagram growth specifically.
Yes.
Okay. So then the A is ads.
A is ads. So this is a crazy thing to say, and I don't know a whole lot of people that can say this, but we have spent nearly probably $4 to $5 million in growing individuals' Instagram, where that's the sole purpose that we do targeted ads, helping people grow their Instagram. So there's ways that you can pick strategic content, videos, stuff that has high engagement rate, and you boost that to the right audience, and your Instagram will grow from that. It's not necessarily the cheapest method, but with that versus a loop, you're going to get whoever the influencer's audience is. When you do paid ads, you can get pinpoint accuracy on who you want following you, your niche, your age demographics, everything. So ads is a very powerful method to grow.
Yeah. And actually I want to bring up like some specifics about ads a little later on, but then the P and the clap method is partnership. And I think you talk about doing like a Instagram live conversation with somebody, right?
Yeah. Like, shout outs. So here's a thing that you can do. First of all, for us, we have a kind of like a diary or a black book of influencers that we work with that we can send messages, but it's basically getting shout outs. I think everybody's familiar with that terminology, getting a shout out. But let's say, for example, your niche is like, I just talked to a guy that his niche was they were selling necklaces, shark necklaces or something like that. It might connect with surfers or something.
Right.
You can have like a template message that you send to people and you connect with them and you basically say, hey, I'll pay you X amount of dollars if you will shout my page out.
Okay.
And so again, that's a good way that you can connect with other people in the industry and you can capitalize off of other people's audiences.
Cool. Yeah, I've never done that before, but
so
I've seen people do
clap.
it. That's clap.
Yeah.
Clap for that method. That's great.
And that's the only way I can get people to clap for me, man. So,
that's it. That's it. I like it. That's really cool. And like, I know a lot of people, it's obviously valuable to have followers on Instagram. It's very popular, and that is for very specific things. And and then the other thing you talk about is finding 10 people in your niche, right? And engaging on their content. Yeah. And that's one I've heard about before, and I do kind of do. And you've seen people have success with that too?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what you have to understand. When it comes to growing your following, is social media is meant to be social. So, it can't just be a one-way road where you're posting content and there's no reciprocation. It's just a one-way road that you're posting content and that's it. But when you engage, when you connect with people, when you're messaging them, when you are commenting on their post, it's like I have a handful of people that when they post, I try to be like one of the first people there on their post, making a comment. Like I've got some friends that they post some incredibly funny content. One of my friends, his name's Kevon Carter. Shout out Kevon. He posts these funny videos, and I will comment, something funny or witty on his videos, and just by the comments, people will start engaging on my comment, like thumbs up and responding.
Especially if you're like first, right?
Yeah. If you're first and
one of the first.
Yeah. So I always tell people, you can actually people try to get a viral video or a viral post, but you can actually get a viral comment in a post. And if you get a viral comment in a post, you can get tens of thousands of people liking your comment, and you will see growth from that also.
That's so cool. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people think about it that way. Yeah. So you talk about finding like people in your niche, and you mentioned your one friend who does videos, but who are some of the people the internet marketing nerd, like would be in your niche? Who are some of like the accounts that
okay.
Like?
So like on my account, most of them are friends, people that I,
like
know
friends or like people in the same niche as you?
People, both. But, my friends are in the same.
Yeah, true.
So it's guys like Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, and Gary V. Okay. Yeah. So it's guys like that I'm commenting on. I'm
okay.
Engaged.
The big guys in that market, and I mean, I know all those names. I definitely love Gary V. and he's the man.
Yeah. I got his book, Crushing It, right here in front of me.
Yeah, that's one of his older ones. It's a great book. I feel like he's definitely one of the kings of the industry. And a lot of people mention Grant Cardone too, who I don't know as well as Gary Vee, but I know he's like a high energy guy who people like. Yeah. So everyone knows the names of like the likable people in the industry. Is there anyone that you like hate? Is there anyone that you like disagree with their opinions on that's like popular in this industry?
Probably, but I don't give them,
name drop them.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing for me. I don't believe in competition.
No,
I don't believe in competition, because we are all, when you start looking at people as competition or competitors or something like that, you're minimizing your thinking. It's like, man, there's nobody that can replace me. It's just nobody can be me. You have to push your ego out of the side, to the side sometimes and say, you know what? There's probably people that can do things better than me in some areas. There's a lot better. Even on my own team, there are guys that do things better than me. But when people connect with you, they connect with you because of common values, common, maybe personality traits and things. So, so it's kind of like, I don't really believe in competition. And if somebody sees me as competition, then, I'm flattered, but I don't like, oh man, I want to try to be
I understand that philosophy. And I've heard Gary Vee talk about that before, and it's not worth it to waste time worrying about what someone else is doing. Just be the best person that you can be for yourself. And I totally get that.
So I'll give you an example. And I'm always careful about how, like I can look at people online and say, I don't like them, but the facts are, I don't know them. I see a 1-minute video from them daily. I don't know them. A lot of times it's a persona, it's a position. When I first started seeing Gary Vee, didn't like him. I mean, his F-bomb every 30 seconds and stuff, just brash in your face and stuff. I didn't like him, but I started reading his books. I met him. I got around him, and I always tell him this: you turned me into a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I was a hater that turned into a fan. I didn't necessarily hate him, but I didn't like him.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people say he's very unlikable until you kind of dig deep into what he's preaching.
So this is the one thing that I've met with him, talked with him, been in his office and everything. And
that's awesome.
He has a genuine concern and really wants to help people. So anybody that has that position, I may not care for their personality traits or their style or anything like that, but if someone genuinely wants to help people, hey man, we're all on the same side. So that's cool. I've been at conferences where guys get up to speak and I'm like, their style and again, it's just that they come off in a way that I don't like, but then once I get to know them, I'm like, man, I don't believe it. I actually like this guy, because you find out something about them. So Gary Vee, like I feel like people from all over the spectrum find things they like from him. He's definitely doing something right, and the fact that he cares and tries to help people is definitely something that stands out. So I'll give you an example. So I know Tai Lopez very well. Been to his.
Yeah, I don't know him as well, so I'm interested.
Yeah, so I've been to his house, and man, I sometimes talk to him 2-3 times a day.
That's awesome.
So I know him very, very well. And sometimes I see people hating on his posts, and
I've
things.
seen that.
And I want to run and defend him. I'm like, you don't know him. He really wants to help people. He's got a big heart. And a lot of times people, they just judge him by the Lambos and the girls and stuff like that. But that's a persona. That's an online personality. In person, he's a guy that really wants to help people.
And I don't think he would be as successful if he didn't genuinely help so many people. It's and the people that are haters, they're just haters.
Yeah.
But I'm actually interested in this because like I'm kind of new into the world and I'm figuring out my niche, and like I've had success building my company. Over my building over there, I have 15 employees. Like our sales are going off the charts. And that's selling products though, which is much different than content and having the podcast. So, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm into marketing and mindset and all these things. And as I am like jumping into the world of this internet marketing, like I understand you don't need to focus on competition, but like, is it like, where would you advise, like if I were to hire you and I was your client, like where would you tell somebody to get off on the right foot? Are there different niches to focus on in internet marketing? Like really, really stick to Facebook ads, or really just try to be yourself, or really just focus on talking about hiring people? Like,
this is, I'll give an example. During all of this crazy time that we're in right now, I've had many of my coaching students and my clients call me up and they're like, Paul, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I understand the panic and the anxiety and the stress that, the uncertainty brings. And this is the advice that I would give every person in this. If you can find an area where you can really help people, I mean, just really help people. Say, for example, if you are, I work with guys that are in personal fitness. If you can do something that really helps people, helps them get the results that they're looking for, helps them in their mind.
I think fitness is a great example that's comparable to like entrepreneurship or internet marketing, because like people know how to get fit. Like you have to eat healthy, you have to do push-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some fitness people are so much more successful than others. And like, they're all giving advice, like eat healthy, do these type of workouts. But it's just, that thing that you think really sets a difference is the fact that they just somehow are great at helping people.
Truly help people. And also a buzzword is authenticity. You're authentic. And what I mean by that, like I've got a great friend, a coaching student of mine, his name's Stephen Campolo. He shares his story of, hey man, I used to be a fat kid. And I mean, that's how he says it. And, now he's like GQ model, ripped, 8% body fat or whatever. A lot of people say me and him look exactly alike, but I'm like, no. But he still, in his social media, he talks about, look, I'm still insecure. I still have these inner struggles.
Yeah.
On the outside, I look like this, but on the inside, I still look like this kid with insecurities and stuff. And so he talks about that. Facts tell, but stories sell. So people, they will buy into your story. They'll connect with your story. And that's a lot of times. So it's more than just the amount of information you can regurgitate, how you can give people information. But if you can do it in an authentic way that is, number one, truly helping people, giving them value, lifting them up, picking them up, and then you're just like, hey, this is who I am. I mean, this is plain and simple. This is who I am. People, you're not. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to connect with everybody, because when you try to connect with everybody, you end up connecting with nobody.
Right.
So find the people. It's like, for me, I'm not going to connect with everybody. I watch the Avengers. I got superheroes. I wear a bow tie. I have people that don't like me because I wear a bow tie. I've had people comment on my post, oh, you can never trust a guy in a bow tie. I'm like, really? Okay, you're going to make that judgment just because of my bow tie? So there's going to be people that don't like me because I wear a bow tie.
Yeah.
They're not the people I'm trying to connect with. So.
That's stupid. That's just stupid. I mean, I've had my share. I've had my share of people make fun of my pencil too. But it's better than. I feel like it's better than people saying absolutely nothing. So whatever. But basically, just be authentic, help people, and I feel like that's what might make like the entrepreneurship, like marketing genre, different than maybe like comedy or entertainment, because comedy and entertainment, like, obviously, it helps, I'm sure, if you're funny and entertaining, but they're not necessarily trying to help you. They're trying more to make you laugh. In this world, it's more like, how can you help someone else or inspire someone else or give them a specific piece of advice through your stories and an element of entertainment. But you think that's maybe one of the differences between like the help and the entertainment is like the end game is helping someone as opposed to entertaining.
Results. Yeah. Difference
exactly.
between entertainment and, an entrepreneur space is results. I mean, if I sit down and watch a comedian, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to feel good, and it's going to make me, but it's not necessarily going to be life changing, or my finances are going to go through the roof or anything like that. But it's just an entertainment factor. I do believe that there is kind of a meshing between education and entertainment. We'd call it edutainment, where people, you have to have a flavor, you have to have some type of entertainment factor to educate people. But that's just kind of like the world that we're living in.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes perfect sense. Like, the story, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of pizzazz. That's cool. That's great. That's going to help ultimately helping people with business, their lifestyle, entrepreneurship. That's the key. That's the one thing I think I could maybe work on specifically, is just like getting some people, just truly helping them. Because I love helping people. And I've heard so many people say it, and I felt it myself. It is a great feeling to kind of help others.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. I think that's all great advice for people. So I wanted to talk about, get on your nerd side a little bit and talk about like the specifics of ads, right? So, so I mentioned I run ads every day, and my objective is selling products. So we sell girls' clothing. So we put up pretty pictures. Someone clicks on it, they go to a sale page, buy the product, conversion. And we use Facebook mostly. That's it. Do you mostly use Facebook?
Facebook is probably 60%.
60%.
60%.
And that's for people who are listening that aren't sure. Facebook owns Instagram. So that's Facebook and Instagram, you mean, is 60%. Yeah. Okay.
60%. And then, we're going to do YouTube.
So YouTube. Okay. So tell me YouTube for a second. So I know, Google owns YouTube. And when you run an ad on YouTube, we're talking paid ads. We're not talking like keyword strategy or anything like that. We're talking paid ads, right? Like, do you do like the pre-roll ads where you'll like run an ad before a video?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll do the pre-roll ads, and then we also do the display, where you'll have your static picture there within the YouTube interface. So yeah, we do a mixture of them. The thing that you have to understand about YouTube versus Facebook is kind of like people are scrolling and they're interrupted by.
That's how we sell. Yeah, it's like clothing. Yeah. It's kind of like a what's it called, like a snap purchase or like a quick decision purchase. Yeah.
So and then YouTube is actually, it's a brilliant search engine. That's what it is. It's owned by Google. It's a search engine. So people are searching for targeted keywords and interests to see videos. So there is maybe like a higher intent when your product comes up. It's maybe more intent based. But when it's on Facebook, people are just going there to socialize or whatever.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I don't know. So when I run ads on Facebook, we have like 300,000 people on our email list. We'll take those people, put them into Facebook. They'll create a lookalike audience, which creates 2 million more people who are very similar to those people. And then we run the ads to like those lookalike audiences.
Yeah.
So that's Facebook, because that's interrupting. On YouTube, how you do it through the Google ad platform, right? Like AdWords. Like, do you pick the keywords that you want, like your pre-roll video to show up in?
So you can pick the keywords that you want. You can pick the say for example the influencer that you want, the videos that you want. There's a lot of different things that you can target, and it does have the ability, for example, that you can do like lookalike audiences.
Okay, you can do the same type of thing.
Sure, yeah.
And Facebook doesn't really have the intent advertising, like really, because you maybe a little bit, but so YouTube, if you want people who are interested in entrepreneurship, you can put that as your keyword and then run your ad to people who are searching for something.
Right.
So okay, so Facebook and Instagram are 60%. What percentage would you say that Google and YouTube are?
I would say about 30%. 30%. Okay. And then, 10% is going to be, those smaller platforms.
Yeah. Let's talk about those. Have you ever ran ads on Snapchat before?
Yeah, absolutely.
They have a pretty good ad platform.
Yeah, they do. If you're going to ask me expert questions about it, I'm probably not going to be able to answer. But yeah, we have ran ads on.
Yeah, all I've done is touch my toes in there, and I'll basically, if I'm running story ads on Instagram, I'll take those same ones and kind of put them on Snapchat. So I've never created an ad like just for it, because there's different things you can do. But they have a pretty good ad platform. Like you can log into their ad settings, and they have all like the features.
Yeah, we've done LinkedIn ads.
Okay, TikTok, I've never done those. TikTok ads. So I've applied. So TikTok obviously is a huge new popular platform, especially for this product we're selling, which is like girls' clothing and stuff like that. So we have just started our TikTok, and it's hard to create content because we have models, and we have a girl who takes pictures, and every day, or not every day, like every week, 2 or 3 times a week, she'll go out with the models, take pictures. So we have all these pictures, and we post them on Instagram, Facebook. You can't just like post them on TikTok. You have to like create something unique for it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But that's like the organic element. I applied to be an advertiser on there, but I didn't get accepted.
You got to have the hookups. You got to have the connections.
Is that true? Like, I mean, Snapchat at some point they had advertising, but it wasn't available to everyone. And then at some point they went public. They became a huge company, and then they allowed everybody kind of access the advertising platform. So TikTok doesn't have that available to everybody yet.
Yeah, it is limited available. You have to get approved to get on it, but
But you got the hookup?
Yeah, we got the hookup. So,
how's their like advertising platform? Like
it's in its infant stages, but like you said, the audience is there. Especially like one of our clients, his largest monetizable platform is TikTok. So it's an education that is geared toward high school and college age people.
So through the TikTok ads, he gets people to click on it and then eventually end up making a purchase.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to get there.
It's his number one platform.
Number one.
He's making, tens of thousands of dollars a month, and it's coming from TikTok.
And I guess it's because it's a younger audience, and you said it was an education geared towards
people. So it's education for people wanting to improve their test scores in certain
So out of this other 10%, we got Snapchat, which is available to everyone now. We got TikTok, which is limited availability in its infancy. You mentioned LinkedIn. I never ran ads on LinkedIn because I feel like is that more for like B2B and we're selling products?
It is, but for the entrepreneur space, it's good for high ticket type stuff like coaching, consulting, maybe even some courses. So it's good for that. Events, helping fill events. It's good for that. But it is more expensive.
Okay.
So you kind of have to, it gives you a different audience. But, and we like to do a omnipresence retargeting where, for example, a great platform for that is AdRoll, where you got a pixel and you're going to be displayed in over 1,000 different, I think it's like over 1,500 different networks where you're going to have native ads. You're going to have Google display ads. You're going to have ads everywhere. That's one of those platforms where people say, man, I see you everywhere. It's because
that's when they've been to your website and your website has the pixel, and then they know who you kind of are, and then they will show you things across 1,500 different platforms, you said? Or
maybe even more than that. So it's an excellent retargeting platform.
I feel like I used to work with them, but I feel like Facebook kind of does that too. I was scrolling through like an article on Forbes once, and I saw our ad for like our products for United Monograms. I was like, what? This is definitely coming from Facebook.
On their mobile app, the display network, it does integrate in some of the apps and things like that.
That's why when I saw that's why I haven't used AdRoll, because I'm kind of just focused on that. But then so then there's 2 more I have in my head, which I'm curious to see if you've worked with before. Twitter, their paid ad program. I love Twitter. It's probably one of my favorite social medias, place I go for news. I've spent money with them before, and every time I do it, it seems like I'll set a $200 budget and it just sucks away the $200 with like no clicks or no intent. Like, do you have a similar experience?
It's good for retargeting. You know what I mean? That, but I have not personally seen any incredible success in monetizing.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
that's so weird. Like they have something figured out. Obviously, they're a great company, but no, I've never heard one person be like, "You gotta advertise on Twitter." I've never heard anyone say
ads are killing it. No, you're right.
And they have an ad platform too that's accessible to the public. Anyone?
Yeah, absolutely.
They've had people call me and be like, "We want to teach you how to do it." I'm like, "Okay," and I give it a shot. Every time I do it, it does terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got some work to do. But the other one that I think should be better, especially for us, is Pinterest.
Pinterest. Yeah.
Have you ever done it?
I've done limited marketing for Pinterest because, but I think that people within e-commerce do, if they do it right.
And I feel like Pinterest is kind of woman based, and we sell women's clothes, and like I always think Pinterest would be just the greatest platform for us, and I've tried there a couple of times. Maybe I need to try harder, but I haven't had that much success, to be honest.
Yeah. I know that they have a high minimum click rate as far as like it starts out like your minimum bid is $1 per click, which for e-commerce might be a little high.
That's high.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I like this conversation because as things shift and adapt, they change every year. Facebook, Google, they're the kings. Like basically, for us, Facebook is it's basically where I spend 100% of my budget, essentially.
Yeah.
Might do a couple other things here and there, but it's just so good that I'm always like, I should check in on these other ones and see if they're like crushing it, and I just don't know about it. Yeah. But you said
double down on what's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground, and if I hear from someone like you, or if I see it coming up at some point that one of these other little platforms is doing amazingly.
MySpace ads, wow.
Blowing up, yeah.
Blowing up.
And those are all the ones I can think of. But that's I just think that's interesting. So Facebook is just the king of that right now. And I know you talk about funnels a lot, right? Yeah. So like for me, a funnel is for selling products. It's like basically run an ad and someone might not buy it right away, but they'll click it, they'll come to your website, and then you have the pixel on them, and then you might run some ads like, hey, finish your purchase, or you can run something different, offer a discount code. How is like selling products different than like, what are your funnels like with personal branding? I'm guessing it's top line content, like something you want someone to like it or click on it. How's that funnel work for like more personal branding?
So I love digital courses, products when it comes to funnels, because there really is a science to it. It's kind of like for example, what we would do is we would bring people into your world with like an entry price. Like for example, you seem popular free plus shipping books.
I want to talk about that for sure.
Russell and guys have these books that they give for free. It's free. You just cover the shipping. Well, what that does is that brings people into your world, and the person who comes in, number one, they've came in because they like the content, they like the ad, and they're interested. So you get them in, and you might initially make no money on them. Like when a person comes in and gets a free book, we make no money. People always like, oh yeah, you're making money on the shipping. I'm like, no, I lose money doing this. But I know if I stick around in your world long enough, give me 30 days, I'll make some money from you. So I'm willing to lose money, or, if things are good, we don't lose money, but it's kind of like a self-consolidating.
Break even.
Yeah, break even. And so you have a tripwire. We call it a tripwire, where it's an entry point. It might be an ebook, it might be a book, it might be a case study, but it's a small entry point. And then we have an order bump, like, hey, if you like this, you're going to like this even more, and it's only $37. And then after that, we might send them to another page like, hey, we got a limited time offer for you only on this page that you can get this course, which is normally $300. We're giving it to you for $87. And so, and then after that, we send them to a special invite to a master class, which is just another fancy name for a webinar. And then we're going to get them into a program, going to present them with an offer that might be $500 to $1,000. And so it's an ascension model. It starts out $7 or even free, but because of your content and the funnels.
And that's a very warm lead, and they're willing to take their credit card out and at least pay for the shipping.
Yeah. And so the funnel is basically, hey, it starts out with at the top, it's broad, but then it funnels down and it'll go from, $7 all the way down to $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 that we have services or products to offer to people at the very bottom of the funnel.
Wow. And that makes kind of all of it worth it, right? $50,000. That's awesome. So like, I want to ask about your book, but right before that, just books in general that I think it's so interesting. Like the process of writing a book, I was wondering, like, now that ebooks are more popular, like I love books, but I don't ever have the book anymore. I usually listen to audiobooks. Does that make the risk of like producing a book something that's easier to do now and that you would suggest for others?
No. So here's the awesome thing. And you can get I can get a book written and 100 printed for $1,000. So you come to me and say, hey, this is my idea. I can hire someone to write it for you for $400 or $500.
Like you obviously have to like talk to them, right? And you just
So they interview you, and then from there you can take there's printing places that will print on demand. Matter of fact, you can take it, upload it into Amazon KDP, and it's print on demand.
That's nice. That means you don't have to take the risk of
no risk. Yeah, that's a cool thing. Obviously, those prices that I mentioned, it's not going to be someone that a professional writer, author, but I'm just hypothetically saying that it can be done. I would definitely recommend somebody that if you're going to do a serious book, that you hire professionals and put it into it. But I'm just saying in the economy that we're in the world that we're in right now, you can do print on demand books. Yeah. So
it's like something that if you're trying to put content out there, people have podcasts, one of the options that you have is to write a book. It's not like the craziest thing.
Books are business cards.
Yeah.
Very rarely do people, unless you're like Harry Potter writer or something.
Right.
You're not going to make millions of dollars writing, but it's a business card.
That's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we do like this book. I have the digital book for, and I have the audio book. The audio book, I think it's being released.
Did you record it with your voice or someone else?
No. So I started doing it, and I was like, okay, chapter 1, and I start reading it. Okay, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh man, I messed up. Got to do it over. And then I started doing it again. I'm like, messed up. Do it over. And so I was able to find someone on. Matter of fact, I talk about it in one of my chapters, the website where I found the person to do my audio book.
That's cool.
And they did it with a nice British accent.
British accents are very soothing. I love British accents.
Yeah, absolutely. And you sound smarter with a British accent. So
that's cool. So not only did you not have to bring out a computer and type every single word, you also didn't have to read every single word. You just had to put your brain, put it out there, and it was able to just be there in a physical book. That's so cool.
For me, it's like I've got videos of so many different things. I can give these videos to writers, and then they can turn it into a a book. And then again, it's like I enjoy writing, and I think anytime I write, some people are like, oh, you're a great writer. But the time that it would take for me to do it and stuff is better spent doing something better. And the same with the audiobook. It's like I wanted to do the audio.
You started it, right?
And I tried it, but I'm like, every time I messed up on a word or didn't say it right, and then I hired someone to do it for me, and they had it done in 24 hours.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's very efficient. So I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about the book. So Side Hustles, right? That's kind of the book that's your new book, right?
27 online side hustle. So interesting enough, in August or September of 2019, a lot of times people come to me and they're like, hey, Paul, teach me how to do what you do. And I'm like, hey, you got a couple of years, just sit down and I'll teach you how to do what I do. But I realize what they're really saying is like, hey, Paul, will you teach me how to make money online, how to build a business online, how to, be able to work from home, from my phone, just, that laptop lifestyle. Can you teach me how to do that? So what I did is number one, my personal experience and things that I know about, things that really work online. I put that into the book, and then I interviewed, 60 or more people that were doing amazing side hustles. I interviewed a 17-year-old boy that last year he made $20,000 while he's in high school. And so I interviewed him and said, hey, break this down. Tell me how you do this and stuff. And so put that in there. And so I interviewed a lot of cool people that were doing stuff that they didn't have to have a bunch of money to get started. They weren't experts or anything. It's just they found things that were working, and I put it into this book. And it's kind of one of those things where when I first got started in internet marketing and making money online, I made so many mistakes and I tried things that didn't work. And I wanted people to be able to just like cut through all the nonsense. Like, okay, look, here's a book, here's a recipe. You just try these things. Some of the things you might find interesting doing.
Right.
It's not one of these get rich quick or anything like that. It's, something that you can make $40, $50 a day from your laptop, maybe a couple hours. But it's stuff, some of the stuff that, like I said, I've interviewed people and dug it out of them. Some of the stuff I actually did myself, and
that's awesome. Yeah. And like, I know there's a big appeal for people like that with side hustles. I mean, I'm kind of like an all-in entrepreneur. Like I quit my job when I was like 21 and started from my mom's basement. So I'm like an all-in kind of guy, but so many people, they know they don't want to do that, and they just want to do something on the side, something at home, something on their own. And I'm sure people listening, if you have a 9-to-5 or if you're already doing something that you like, but you want to just do something else, a side hustle.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing about a side hustle is, number one, it's like if I ask anybody, hey, do you want to make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month? Very few people. If I say $2,000 to $3,000, it only take you. No, not me.
I hate money.
Yeah, most people will say yes. And then you can say you can do it from your laptop, you can do it from your phone. It's not going to take a whole lot of time. It's like, yeah, definitely. But then what they find out, I know for me, when I made like my first $100 online, I'm like, well, this is real money. And it led into me going, my side hustle turned into a full-time hustle. And so I got a taste of it, and it progressed into something full-time.
That's exciting. And your book specifically is 27 online side hustles, right?
Exactly.
So this is a great time for online, right?
Like I said, I put this together back in August or September last year, not knowing how many people would, number one, be in a situation where
everyone's literally stuck inside in the entire country.
Yeah. And then, people in front of their computers and trying to figure out how to do stuff online. So it was really an amazing timing.
It really is. It really is.
People would think that I did it because of this situation that we're in, but I did it before the situation, and it was done in the middle of this.
Yeah. like pandemic like affected any of like your business in any way?
So within our agency, we have different clients and people doing different things. So we have people that own
Mm.
restaurants that have brick and mortar stores. So obviously their business has been greatly affected. So some of them you're able to pivot and say, hey, let's do this online, and help sustain them. And some of them even grew
I
in
mean, for
it.
restaurants, it would be some type of online delivery or ordering
Yeah,
online type of thing, I would imagine.
yeah. I'll give you an example. One of our clients that is a very nice restaurant here locally, he was able to maintain business throughout all of this, and it's because he grew his takeout and delivery side of things, and he also, they have a lot of a great wine selection, so they grew that. They also sell olive oil, so they grew that. So they really push stuff
Yeah.
online more, and which was not their business model initially, but it helped them sustain things through this. And now he's like, look, we're going to keep doing this.
Yeah. Now they can open up their original business and also
Yeah,
have these other side hustles in a way,
yeah,
but these,
it's more
and that's so cool.
streamlined.
These times like this are a great time for entrepreneurs to kind of like rise up and kind of see who's going to make it and who's not. Because I know a lot of restaurants like aren't going to make it through this, but
Yeah,
the ones that are good enough to have the people innovate and figure out how to make it work,
yeah,
that is like the ones that are going to succeed. And
yeah.
I mean, just online business in general. Like, I mean, I sell products, and I was very lucky during the pandemic. We were able to stay operating. The post office is still operating. All of my employees, like printing and embroidery and shipping stations, are
Awesome.
all away from each other, and we worked in shifts. So
Yeah.
we were very lucky. And I saw that there was a big rise in online sales. I think there was even
Yeah.
like some psychologist who was
Ad
saying,
costs down
yeah,
to
all my ad costs have been amazing. And I think it was like some psychologist that was like breaking down the steps of a pandemic. And it was like, step one, you're running at the toilet paper. Step two, you like drink and eat and Zoom with your friends. And like
yeah.
the third psychological stage is like trying to fill a creative urge by shopping online for like clothing that you don't need. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, boom. So
There
yeah,
we
we've
are.
been very lucky that we're online. And I think a lot of like clothing and all type of product retail stores, like if they weren't going the online route before, I think that
Definitely, it's definitely opened eyes for a lot of businesses that they realize, hey, we have to have a strong online presence because, when things get shut down, people are in front of their computers, and you want to
yeah.
be able to.
Yeah. And if your consumers were people who didn't like buying online, well, the past 3 or 4 months, I bet you they became accustomed to it. So now you
Yeah,
might even lose your people who like physically shopping. And hey, it's nice getting something shipped to you rather than going to the
yeah.
store and picking it up. So I think like, do you see any other like trends in like online business going forward? Like, do you like, is there anything that you think might like change over the next 10, 20 years that people might want to pay attention to that are like online entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So, I often ask myself when walking through the mall, will malls exist 10 years from now? Because obviously there is that social effect that people like to go to the mall and shop, but really you can do all of that online once you find it. I think people still like to touch it before they buy it and everything, so maybe it'll stay that. But I know for me, once I find a brand, a style, and the size that I like, and I can order it online, I don't need to go to the store to buy
Mm.
that. So I think that malls and traditional shopping may reposition. I've got friends that are investors that they are investing in warehouses.
Mm.
And I'm like, why are you investing in warehouses, buying warehouses all over the nation? And they explain because of e-commerce growing, there's going to need to be more warehouses throughout the United States, and they will make money,
Oh,
leasing
so
these
they're just buying
warehouses.
it and then they're gonna sell it to a company who needs to store and fulfill their products.
Exactly,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, my business, like, we're growing and I'm gonna be looking for space soon. So
There you go.
that's a great example.
So
Uh,
as online businesses grow, instead of stuff being stored in the mall, they're going to be stored in warehouses where they're going to be shipped. So that's the future. That is
the future. And I'm excited about it. And I'm a young business person, and that's how my business is built, is online. So like very comfortable with it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think, the internet is obviously the way of the future. This just in. But hey, that's been great. Like besides for everything we talked about, is there anything else that's like been on your mind lately? Any like hot topics that like you've been thinking about a lot lately?
No, well, so, as far as the internet and marketing growing, I do believe that AI, artificial intelligence, bots, and that will become more and more popular. And sometimes marketers, they get nervous, like, okay, I'm going to be replaced by AI. I saw a test of one of the largest banks had an AI write ad copy for them and tested it next to a human, and the AI outperformed the human. So
it's like, oh, this is your local bank. Like, come and open a bank account, and whatever they wrote, tested better in an A/B test than a person. That's scary.
So AI is going to be important, but yeah, I think that everybody needs to look at internet marketing. Internet marketing can help any business. It can help, you have a service, a product. Internet marketing is putting more eyeballs on who you are, what you have to deliver. And if you have the right people working for you, the right team, it can obviously accelerate anybody's growth of their business.
I couldn't agree with that more. All right. I think let's leave it right there. This has been an awesome conversation. I learned a lot. The internet marketing nerd.
Thanks a lot.
You're the man, the guy behind the guy. Now you're known. And I'll put my pencil next to your bow tie. We both got our things.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.